Have you ever tried to hold a conversation with the wind? Or tried to map out the path of a wildfire? If you've ever tried to get close to a Sagittarius woman, you might know exactly what that feels like. She's the spark of life in a crowded room, the one with an untamed laugh and a story that sounds too wild to be true, but you know it is. She is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance, and her sign is the Archer, always aiming for something just beyond the horizon. To love her is to feel like you've been handed a ticket to the greatest adventure of your life. But it can also feel confusing. One moment, she's pulling you in with incandescent warmth, and the next, she seems distant, her gaze fixed on a faraway point you can't quite see. You might be showering her with affection, speaking what you believe is the universal language of love, only to be met with a friendly but detached smile. It can leave you wondering, am I doing this right? Am I missing something? The truth is, you probably are. Because a Sagittarius woman doesn't just have a love language, her love language is a dialect all its own. It's not written in flowery poems or grand, traditional gestures. It's written in the stars, spoken on the open road, and felt in moments of pure, unfiltered freedom. So, if you're ready to truly understand the vibrant, complex, and exhilarating heart of the Archer, then let's decode the secret love language of the Sagittarius woman. First, we need to understand her core value, the North Star that guides every single thing she does: freedom. To a Sagittarius, freedom isn't just a trendy word. It's not about being single or avoiding commitment. It is the very air she breathes. It's intellectual freedom, the right to believe what she wants, to change her mind, to explore philosophies that others might find strange. It's physical freedom, the ability to pack a bag on a Tuesday and go, to not feel tethered or trapped by routine. And it's emotional freedom, the space to feel her feelings without being told they're too much or being psychoanalyzed. Any attempt to limit this, even with the best intentions, will feel like a cage. And a Sagittarius will always break out of a cage. This fundamental need for freedom is the filter through which she experiences all the traditional love languages. Let's start with the one that's most often misunderstood when it comes to her: quality time. For many, quality time means a quiet night in, cuddling on the sofa, watching a movie. And while a Sag can enjoy that, it's not what makes her heart sing. For a Sagittarius woman, quality time means quality adventure. It's not about the duration of the time you spend together, but the intensity and novelty of the experience. She doesn't want to just sit with you, she wants to do with you. She wants to create a story with you. Think about it. Would she rather receive a generic box of chocolates, or would she rather you say, "I found this tiny, hidden restaurant an hour away that everyone says has the most authentic pasta. Let's go get lost trying to find it." That's quality adventure. It's a spontaneous road trip with no destination. It's trying a kickboxing class together. It's staying up until 3 a.m. debating the meaning of life over a bottle of wine. It's getting caught in the rain and laughing about it instead of complaining. These are the moments that she files away in her heart. She falls in love in the spaces between plans, in the thrill of the unknown. When you offer her an experience instead of just your presence, you're not just spending time with her. You are adding a new chapter to her life's story, and you're making yourself a main character in it. You are showing her that you don't want to hold her back, you want to run with her. This is the highest form of quality time for an Archer. It's a language that says, "I see your wild spirit, and I want to be a part of it, not tame it." So, if you want to speak her language, stop planning date nights and start planning expeditions, even if it's just to the other side of town. Next, let's talk about words of affirmation, but with a Sagittarian twist. A Sagittarius woman is not one for sappy, sentimental poetry. Saying, "You complete me," is more likely to make her feel a little bit queasy than fluttery. Why? Because she's already whole. She's not looking for her other half. She's looking for a co-explorer, a fellow adventurer. Her version of words of affirmation is the language of truth and laughter. She is brutally, refreshingly honest, and she expects the same in return. Sugarcoating and white lies feel like insults to her intelligence. So, the most powerful words you can offer her are truthful ones. But not just any truth. She craves recognition of her mind, her humor, and her unique perspective. Instead of, "You're so beautiful," which is nice but generic, try, "I have never met anyone who thinks the way you do." The way your mind connects those ideas is fascinating. That, to her, is true admiration. You're not just seeing her face, you're seeing her brilliant, chaotic mind. Praise her wit. Laugh at her jokes, the loud, inappropriate ones. When she goes on a passionate rant about a documentary she watched, don't just nod along. Engage with her. Challenge her. Saying, "That's a really interesting point, but have you considered this?" is more romantic to her than a dozen roses. It shows you respect her intellect enough to truly listen and debate. This is intellectual intimacy. And then there's laughter. A shared, genuine, belly-aching laugh is one of the most direct ways to her heart. She is a natural optimist, ruled by the joyful planet Jupiter. She uses humor to navigate life's absurdities. If you can make her laugh, truly and deeply, you are speaking her language. If you can laugh at yourself, even better. It shows you don't take life too seriously, which is a prerequisite for being in her world. So, forget the Hallmark card sentiments. Speak to her with honesty. Admire her mind. Share a joke. Be her intellectual sparring partner and her court jester, all in one. That is the kind of affirmation that will make her feel truly seen, heard, and cherished. Now, what about acts of service? This is a tricky one. Doing her laundry or running her errands might be appreciated, but it won't necessarily register as love. It can even backfire. Sometimes, an over-eager attempt to take care of her can feel patronizing, as if you think she can't handle her own life. And she absolutely can. The Sagittarian dialect of acts of service is the language of support for her freedom. It's not about doing things for her, but about doing things that enable her. Let me give you an example. Let's say she's been talking for weeks about wanting to learn pottery. The standard, acts of service, response might be to clean the whole house so she has a free evening. That's nice. The Sagittarian, acts of service, response is to secretly research pottery studios in your area, find the one with the best reviews, and send her a link with a message that says, "I know you've been wanting to do this. I'll handle dinner on Tuesdays so you can go to this class." Do you see the difference? One is just helping. The other is actively dismantling obstacles that stand between her and a new experience. You are a facilitator of her expansion. Booking the flights for a trip she's been dreaming of? That's an act of service. Taking her car to get the oil changed because you know she wants to take a road trip next weekend? That's an act of service. Giving her space when she needs to work on a personal project, without guilt or complaint. That is a massive, profound act of service. You're not serving her in a way that makes her dependent on you. You're serving her quest for life, for knowledge, for experience. You're proving you're on her team. You're her co-pilot, her logistical support, her biggest cheerleader. When you support her freedom instead of just doing her chores, you're not just showing you love her. You're showing you understand her. And for a Sagittarius, being understood is the ultimate prize. Let's move on to receiving gifts. If you think the key is a big price tag, you're on the wrong track. A Sagittarius woman is an anti-materialist at heart. She values experiences far more than possessions. So, her love language isn't about expensive gifts. It's about thoughtful artifacts. A gift for a Sag woman should do one of three things. 1. Facilitate an adventure. 2. Expand her mind. 3. Become a meaningful token from a shared experience. Instead of a diamond necklace, think a high-quality, durable backpack for her travels. Or a waterproof camera. or a subscription to an international snack box. These aren't just things, they are tools for living a bigger life. Instead of designer perfume, think about a rare, out-of-print book on mythology or a subject she's obsessed with. Think about a masterclass subscription so she can learn from the best minds in the world. These gifts say, I listen to you. I see what lights up your mind, and I want to give you more of it. And the most powerful gifts of all are the ones tied to memory. That silly souvenir from your first road trip together. A framed photo of that time you both got hopelessly lost and laughed about it for hours. A plane ticket to a place she mentioned she wanted to see 6 months ago. These artifacts aren't about their monetary value. They are physical proof of your shared adventure. They are touchstones that remind her of the stories you've built together. She doesn't want things that tie her down. She wants things that remind her of how she flew. Giving a Sagittarius a gift is a test of how well you've been listening. Pass the test, and you'll give her something she'll treasure far more than gold. Finally, we come to physical touch. Being a fire sign, the Sagittarius woman is passionate, physical, and a great lover of life's sensual pleasures. Touch is definitely important to her. But, like everything else, it has to be on her terms and must respect her need for freedom. The love language here is spontaneous and unrestrained touch. She is not a fan of clinginess. Constant, needy hand-holding or possessive hugs in public will make her feel suffocated. She needs to know she can move freely. Trying to physically restrain her, even playfully, can trigger a deep, instinctual need to pull away. But that doesn't mean she's cold. Far from it. Her brand of affection is spontaneous and joyful. It's a sudden, passionate kiss in the kitchen while you're cooking. It's grabbing your hand to pull you onto an impromptu dance floor. It's a huge, enveloping bear hug after a long day. It's the way she'll playfully shove you after you make a good joke. Her touch is often an extension of her exuberant energy. It's warm, generous, and full of life. It's rarely timid or hesitant. In more intimate moments, this translates to a desire for passion, fun, and a sense of adventure. She wants a lover who is present, enthusiastic, and willing to explore. The key is to match her energy. When she initiates, meet her with equal warmth and passion. And when she needs her space, give it to her without question. Don't take it personally. Her need for a solo bubble has nothing to do with her feelings for you. It's about her need to recharge her own energy. Mastering this balance, knowing when to engage with fiery passion and when to give her the gift of open space, is the secret to speaking her language of physical touch. It's about showing her that your affection is a source of joy, not a restriction. So, we've covered the 5 main ways she communicates love. Through shared adventures, through truth and laughter, by supporting her freedom, with thoughtful artifacts, and with spontaneous affection. But it's just as important to understand what she perceives as the opposite of love. What actions will make her pull away faster than anything else? The biggest one, without a doubt, is jealousy and possessiveness. Trying to control who she talks to, questioning her friendships, or giving her the 3rd degree when she comes home late is a declaration of war on her very soul. It tells her you don't trust her, and worse, that you want to own her. A Sagittarius cannot and will not be owned. Her loyalty is given freely and fiercely, but the moment you demand it or try to police it, it will vanish. Another major disconnect is being emotionally manipulative or playing games. The Archer is direct. She says what she means. She can't stand passive aggression, the silent treatment, or trying to guilt trip her. If you have a problem, she expects you to state it clearly and honestly, even if it's uncomfortable. Trying to manipulate her emotions is a game she has no interest in playing, and she will lose respect for you instantly. Finally, clinging to a monotonous routine will slowly drain the life out of your connection. If every weekend is the same, every conversation is the same, and there are no new experiences on the horizon, she will get bored. And a bored Sagittarius is a restless Sagittarius. She needs novelty. She needs growth. She needs to feel like life is moving forward, not stuck in a loop. So, loving a Sagittarius woman is not for the faint of heart. It requires a secure partner who doesn't need constant validation. It requires someone who has their own full life, their own passions, their own sense of self. She's not looking for someone to complete her, but someone to stand beside her, bow and arrow in hand, ready to aim for the next great adventure. The question is never, how can I make her mine? The question is, how can I be a part of her journey? You can't catch the wind, but you can learn to fly with it. You can't tame a wildfire, but you can learn to dance in its light. Speak her language of freedom, truth, and adventure. Respect her need for space as much as you cherish her moments of closeness. Be her friend, her lover, her co-conspirator, her philosophical sparring partner. Do that, and you won't just understand her love language. You'll become fluent. And you'll be rewarded with a love that is as vast, as brilliant, and as boundless as the sky she's always looking up at. It's a love that doesn't tie you down, it gives you wings.